This episode of Wright at the Movies is brought to you by I Got Game. Ogdensburg's leading game store is located at 215 Ford Street, Ogdensburg, New York, across from the DMV. Need video games and comic books? Look no further. How about magic cards? Pokemon? D&D collectibles? All of that and more are available now at low prices at I Got Game. Stop in today from 12 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. I Got Game. Do you? Hey everybody, it's me, Mr. Wright, and welcome to Wright at the Movies. Today I'm talking about Chappie. Chappie stars Sigourney Weaver, Hugh Jackman, Dev Patel, and Dee Antwoord as themselves, and is the story of a robot learning to be human. Where do I even begin with this one? Man, this one's big. District 9 was an instant classic, and it put Neil Blomkamp on the map. Everyone was so excited to see what he did next. What he did next wasn't that great. Elysium had a lot of potential, and there's some really cool ideas thrown around in it, but unfortunately it really fell flat and was a big disappointment. I wasn't ready to throw him out quite yet though. Now here we are with his next movie, Chappie. And how is it? That's complicated. Because when Chappie is good, it's really, really good. And when it's bad, it's really, really bad. I think I like this movie. It's honestly really hard for me to decide whether or not I like this movie. For those who don't know, Chappie is a story about a near future in Johannesburg where they start using robot policemen.
The deployment of the planet's first robotic police units became the focus of the world in 2016.
Drop your weapons, you're under arrest.
And it's a big hit and everybody loves them, except for one guy, Hugh Jackman. He does not trust these artificial intelligent police officers. He has this other idea for police, and he wants to use this big, huge, man-controlled ED-209-like robot. Everyone loves the little ones, the little, normal, artificial intelligent ones. Their creator, played by Dev Patel, comes up with this improvement that can give them all real intelligence. They don't trust him with it, and so he hides it, and he puts it into an old robot. And welcome to the world, Chappie. And is raising this thing to be the new robot Jesus. Chappie is the most adorable robot ever. He is absolutely adorable and precious and innocent, and I want to protect him and love him and raise him. And so does Dev Patel, and that's why the rest of this movie is kind of heartbreaking, because what happens after this is that these gangsters kidnap him and Chappie, and they start raising Chappie on their own.
Come here, little buddy.
I think there's a lot of nature versus nurture kind of symbolism in this, because, you know, Dev Patel wants to teach Chappie to be this nice, good person and brings all these lessons to him, and these gangsters want to teach him how to be a gangster and how to help them with heists and steal stuff.
That's a watch. That's a watch. What?
Chappie doesn't understand. Chappie thinks that this guy's trying to take him away from his family, and the whole time you're like, no, they're bad people. Your maker is a good person. Just come with him. It's this big story about child abuse and a child growing up in an abusive household, and yet that's the only home he ever knows. He has no idea that they're being so abusive to him. It's all he knows. And when he calls these people mommy and daddy, we're off to a really bad start when it comes to him understanding that this is not the place for him.
It's like a child, it has to learn.
And I just find them both to be terrible people. Just the worst. It goes into what makes a good person. Is it how they're raised, or is it something up here? Is it something in their heart? Is it something spiritual that makes someone a good person, not just how they're raised?
Anything you want to do in your life, you can do. Write poetry, have original ideas.
Wow.
They focus on these gangsters from Dee Antwoord so much. You almost forget that Dev Patel is even in the movie. I had never heard of Dee Antwoord before this movie, and yet while I was writing my review, I was listening to them. I listened to them on the car drive home from watching the movie. I'm not big into rap music, and yet they have this really, really interesting and captivating sound, and I could not stop listening to them. This movie is a lot like the robot that it's named after. It asks a lot of questions about humanity. and tons of questions that people in general just don't know how to answer. And that's a good thing. Movies should sometimes have this really important message.
You know what's a black sheep?
No.
It's like when you're different to everyone else.
It knows that humanity is a big question, and it knows that sentience and nurturing and raising a person is a really huge responsibility.
You try. No, I can't shoot people. What? I can't shoot them, they didn't do anything to me?
I'm trying to come up with a way to describe how this movie feels. It's like if RoboCop and Johnny Five had a baby, and then that baby was raised in District 9.
What's that? Chappie's book?
Yeah, it's yours.
Chappie's got stories? Chappie's got a book?
It has an awesome soundtrack, awesome cinematography, and a great character in Chappie, and a great tone for the whole movie. Neil Blomkamp's always been really good at creating worlds. Unfortunately, a lot of the story elements go nowhere, and the ending really falls flat for me. I thought Sigourney Weaver and Hugh Jackman were both really wasted with not having a whole lot to do. Sigourney Weaver is on screen for maybe a good 5 minutes total, and Hugh Jackman just is rounded down to this cartoon bad guy at the end.
Destroy that robot. Burn it to ash.
Something of great danger headed our way now.
But a lot of the bigger thematic elements surrounding Chappie and his growing up and his becoming more of a person is so captivating that everything else kind of fades in the background to me. And I just love Chappie. He's so amazing. I loved a good 90 to 95% of this movie. It's just that last 10 minutes that really bums me out. Overall, it has a lot of problems with it, but it has a lot of great, amazing, beautiful things about it too. I give it 1 thumb up. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm Mr. Wright. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
I am consciousness. I am alive. I am Chappie.